expecting everything to be all right. It's not going to work. If you understand what I'm talking about, it's just not going to work like that. Now, I wanted us to talk about something else. And in a short while, without wasting too much time, let us address this topic. Are you ready, Ada?
Okay, it's 6 minutes.
Yep. A native doctor has emerged PRP's candidate in Anambra governorship election. A native doctor has emerged as People's Redemption Party. He's the flag bearer of the party in the Anambra governorship elections. Dr. Nnamdi Nwanwu returned unopposed after his two co-aspirants, Chidiebere Mba and Humphrey Anaso, stepped down for him. The national secretary of the party, Babatunde Ali, who announced Nwanwu as the winner of the primaries, described the election as credible and peaceful. He also expressed hope of the party defeating the ruling All Progressive Grand Alliance in the governorship elections. Commending other aspirants for stepping down for the candidate, Ali said it was a demonstration of the spirit of sportsmanship and leadership. So I want to ask you a question, guys. Would you vote for a native doctor? I'm starting with Ada. Would you vote for a native doctor to be the governor of a state in Nigeria? Real quick, let's just take 5 calls real quick in quick succession. In quick succession. Oh yeah?
Personally, I don't see that as a problem. I'm being very honest. I mean, that is his profession.
Okay, you don't see that as a problem.
It's not a big deal. Yeah, that's his profession, right? He's a native doctor. Maybe he's into herbal drugs and all this herbal stuff, local treatments.
What if he's also into some juju on the side?
That's his business. That's his line of work. But then again, choosing who to lead you shouldn't be about what the person is into or what the person, do for a living. It's about who has the state at heart and who has, good interest, good plans for the state and for the citizens. So,
all right, that is Adelby. Since we don't have so much time, can we have a few other callers too? Let's pick their brains today.
Just 2 phone calls, 0700 993 993.
If they talk quickly, we can take 5. We have 3 minutes.
Hello, good evening. Azubichu, welcome. Yeah.
Baba, answer quickly. Don't waste too much time. We don't have time.
Okay, so it's no problem for you, right? We're in the same WhatsApp group. Thank you so much. Hello? Yes, good evening. What's your name? Mr. James, welcome. Really? We are? Why? No. You don't have that information, so you can't say it on the radio, okay? Hello?
Okay, final caller, so I can say something.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
So out of all our callers, how many callers did we have, Ada?
On this topic?
Yes.
2.
Okay. No, we had more than 2.
Oh, 3, right.
Yes. Out of the three, two of them said they would vote for him. Right?
Yeah.
You also said you'd vote if he has the love of the state at heart, and quite a lot of other people also leaned towards that that line. And here's what I have to say. You see, I think we need to bring our minds out of the religious quagmire that has kept Nigeria stagnated for so long. We have an ordained pastor in one of the highest offices in the country right now. What has he done? What has he done that is spectacular? What has he done? Some would even believe that as a pastor, you get where matter go reach, you go resign, step down. Instead, politics continues unabated. How many people will come and stand before you and tell you they are Muslims or they are Christians? Meanwhile, in a shrine that they go every night, go bath for river. So what's really the use? Why are we judging people over their religious choices? When native doctors ruled Africa, were things really as bad as they are today? So we need to talk to ourselves. We need to get ourselves into Nigerians are very sentimental. Oh, he's Igbo. Oh, he's Hausa. Oh, get somebody that works. Forget who his father is. Forget what tribe. You see, tribalism is oftentimes worse than racism. Sometimes we need to look away from the dredges we built and immersed ourselves in. It's he's white garment and he's not born again. He's all the ones that you've had so far. Many of them ordained by your biggest Jews. How far has it helped you as a country? Until we start asking ourselves these questions, we would continue to stagnate in the quagmire of underdevelopment. We will continue to immerse ourselves in the lackluster cesspool of incompetence, mediocrity. So thank you so much, Ada. Thank you.
All right, Daddy, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much. I guess we'll continue with this tomorrow.
Absolutely, my darling sister. Do take care of yourself.
All right, you too.
Okay, so guys, I'm just gonna have the conversation for another few minutes. I don't know, Rookie, if you can come online and join us, tell us what you think. I don't mind bringing in a few people. Rookie, say hi. Let me bring you in. Someone said, don't off this video. We are not done here yet. Okay, let me even ask you guys. Would you vote for a native doctor? If he's competent, would you vote? Tell me, guys, would you vote? Quite a lot of people are saying we'll vote. Okay, Inside Life is the only person who says no. Why not? Quite a lot of people are saying yes. I would if he's competent. So there are more yeses than no's. Okay, let me read from Facebook now. Most people are saying, I would vote. They might even be better. The word is competence. Okay, a lot of people, one person is saying no. You see like 8 to 9 yes, then 1 no. Okay, guys, religious belief has nothing to do with personality. Big yes if he's competent. I'll take my chance. There's nothing to lose anymore. He might be better. Oh, absolutely yes if he understands his community. Yes. Someone said all the politicians visit native doctors. Simply Vic, I didn't see your comment. Jem Jaffet, native doctor, deal with herbs and they are not bad. They are like pharmacists. Yeah, they have a lot of spirituality too. We can't rule out the fact that they have their own gods and their own spirituality, you know. But as long as he's competent, I'm also for that stand. As long as he's competent, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's and give unto God what is God's. In the rule of politics, what we need is competence, love. Someone says some native doctors are bad. In my life, I did not lose 5 years of revenue to native doctors. I lost it to pastors. As far as I'm concerned, many pastors are more devilish than native doctors. Because I dared come out and preach against the lies they've been selling to you people for decades. They fought my finances. They tried to get me to lose my job. They fought everything I stood for. So if you ask me, I would rather vote a native doctor than a pastor because pastor don't do me wicked before. Native doctor never do me bad. One particular pastor that I paid tithe to got his people to call my office to remove their jingle just to make me look bad at one point. You are now telling me that I will. But you see, at the end of the day, I still, despite what pastors have done to me, I still would not choose a candidate based on whether he's a pastor or not. Is he competent? You see, what we have to keep considering is the greater good. The greater good. There are native doctors who love people. There are native doctors who will not do their juju for somebody who is wrong. There are native doctors who want development. Just as there are native doctors who are wicked, there are native doctors who would want to enslave you. So it has nothing to do with the native doctor. It has everything to do with the personality in question. If he's competent, if he's a good human being. Let me ask you, let's flip it. Okay, what if he was not a native doctor? What if he was an atheist? What if he just did not believe in God? What if he just did not believe in God, did not believe in any religion, did not believe that religion is important? What if he was just a free thinker? Would you vote for him? Would you vote for him? I'm asking you guys, would you vote for an atheist or a free thinker? Now, let me tell you this year. I would vote for a competent pastor, despite what pastors have done to me in my life. I will vote for a competent pastor over an incompetent native doctor, or over an incompetent atheist, or an incompetent Muslim. Just the same way I will vote for a competent Muslim over an incompetent pastor, native doctor, or atheist. And the same vein, I will vote for a competent atheist over a Christian, Muslim, or native doctor. So at the end of the day, it's not about their religion, it's about their competence. Let us see what they're willing to do. At the end of the day, many of your Muslims and pastors and the atheists still go to do their juju at the back. So at the end of the day, you're wasting your time. Let me just ask you, our pastor that is in one of the highest offices, what has he done? What difference has he made? How much is Nigeria better today than it was when there were no pastors in the helm of affairs? Ask yourself these questions. Some people will tell you that he's powerless. If he's powerless, is he powerless to resign? Does he not have Biro? Should I send Biro to him? If he's powerless and cannot do anything, why is he in the office? I hate to hear that excuse. He's powerless, he's powerless, he's powerless. Baba, if you are powerless, resign. As simple as that. Resign. If you can't, we want to see your impact. We love you. We want to see you work. But if you are not ready to work, or if it's impossible for you to work, do the honorable thing. I hereby resign my appointment. That's my take. Somebody will tell you his hands are tied. His hands are not tied to resign. His hands are tied, he should resign. His hand tied to resign. How much is Biro? Biro is 100 naira. Paper is even cheaper. How much is envelope? He should resign, paper, pay, and send it to them. His hands are tied. Who is tying whose hands? I want to say it's not simple. What is not simple? Why do we make issues complicated in Nigeria? We're giving ourselves excuses. If you cannot perform in your office for one reason or the other, then resign. If they are stressing you, they cannot collect your resignation in the office. Resign on Twitter. Oh, they banned it. Oh, shucks. Okay, resign on Instagram. And go and rest. Sit down in one country and rest and forget about Nigeria's problem. They are not letting you. They are tying your hands. His hands are tied. His hands are tied. That's the excuse you will be giving yourselves. His hands are tied. His hands are tied. Anybody that cannot work should just resign. I've never heard of a government official in Nigeria that is in a high office resign. What is the matter? If you can't work, resign. It's not fight. But if you are in that office, we want to see what you are doing. Anyway, that's as far as we can go. Thank you so much, all of you, for coming out and join us. Let's be telling ourselves the truth. It's not by pastor, it's not by babalawo, it's not by Muslim, it's not by imam, it's not by any spiritual inkling. We are not in a theocracy. God is not the one that chose our leaders. We are in a democracy. During the time of Saul and David and Solomon and what have you, God chose the kings, and the kings went a theocratic path to the election. It's all well and good. It worked for David, it worked for Solomon. It cannot work now. We are in a democracy, a government by the people for the people. We are not in a government by God for the people. This is a democracy. crazy. Demonstration of crazy. Abi, wait till I talk now, not get am. So that's my take, once and for all. Let's put God where he belongs. In our hearts, praying for whoever is in the office, but not when it comes to selecting a candidate. Or better still, God, choose the candidate for us. And let me mess with you guys, because people don't read Bible. That's why many of you end up the way you end up. Jacob wrestled with God and prevailed. Jacob stole Esau's blessing. Jacob was Abraham's grandson. Yet this Jacob was alive. God was giving his revelation to a pagan Pharaoh. Why did God not give Jacob the revelation that there was going to be 14 years of hunger? Even God elected Babalawo when he saw that the Babalawo could walk. First of all, God gave Joseph to Jacob. Jacob could not manage his home. So they in Pekin, in other Pekin, one key Joseph. Jacob was one of the most blessed people that lived during his time. But that does not mean he did not have shortcomings. I'm sure if they had brought Pharaoh and they had brought Joseph to you, Pharaoh and Jacob to you, you would have chosen Jacob. And all of you would have died with the Jacob. Jacob that hungry was beaten and ran to Egypt. First time, they gave him food. After a while, he ran again, second time. Before he finally relocate, Kuku, go to Egypt, go live there, carry all his sons, go do slavery for another 400 years. Have you guys ever sat down to think about this before? Jacob did not have the capacity to feed the world. He did not have the storerooms. He did not even have Joseph that was his son. Pharaoh had the network ability. He had the machinery in place. He had the storehouses. God himself gave his vision to a pagan while his own son was lying fallow inside his tent. Have you ever thought about this before? Why didn't God give Jacob the revelation? Jacob was blessed. Does not mean Jacob has the capacity to rule. Does not mean Jacob has the capacity to bring his children out of poverty. The wisdom was in Egypt. The blessing was with Jacob. Blessing cannot feed you. Wisdom can. Understanding can. Also remember, when Joseph told his dream to Jacob, what did Jacob tell him? He said, so you mean me and my 12 brothers will bow down to you? Meanwhile, when Joseph interpreted Pharaoh's dream, immediately Pharaoh removed his ring and put it on Joseph's hand and said, you are in charge. God is with you. I don't know this your God, but this God is God. In fact, I hand over everything to you. Only me, Pharaoh, will be senior to you in the whole of Egypt. And guess what? The priests of On, Joseph made sure that their food rationing was never cut. And they never had to pay for food. So even Joseph himself took care of the pagan priests. It's there in the scriptures, if only you spend your time reading them. So if God himself chose a pagan over the father of Christianity, or one of the fathers of Christianity, because whether you like it or not, many of you don't know that Jacob was not a Christian. Isaac was not a Christian. Abraham was not a Christian. David, Solomon, all of them, even Christ himself was not a Christian. Christianity did not start until after the resurrection. Many of you don't know this. Many of you don't have this understanding. Jacob was a father of Christianity. Same thing with his father Isaac and his grandfather Abraham. So one of the fathers of Christianity, with anointing that none of your pastors combined, if you join all your pastors together, none of them have Jacob's anointing. And God saw Jacob with that anointing and that blessing. Do you know how blessed Jacob was? Jacob was wealthy. Jacob, but you see, he did not have structure. He did not have what Pharaoh had. So God himself gave his vision to a pagan, while his own son and the father of Christianity lay fallow. And you are picking political candidates using Christianity as a yardstick. Are you well? I'm asking you, are you well? Your God himself did not pick regards to religion. Genesis chapter 47. Genesis chapter 47, verse 22. When you get there, let me know. So Joseph, let me read from verse 20 so you have an understanding. So Joseph bought all the land of Egypt for Pharaoh. All the Egyptians sold him their fields because the famine was so severe, and soon all the land belonged to Pharaoh. As for the people, he made them all slaves, from one end of Egypt to the other. The only land he did not buy was the land belonging to the priests, and they received an allotment of food directly from Pharaoh, so they didn't need to sell their land. Which priest did they have in Egypt? It was the priest of On. Remember, Joseph himself married the daughter of Potipharah. Potipharah is the high priest of Ra, the sun god. Think, God did not choose religion. He chose competence. Pharaoh was more competent than Jacob. Whether you like it or not, you can argue it from the beginning to the end. Pharaoh was more competent with regards to ruling a nation, with regards to making provision. Pharaoh was more competent than Jacob. Many of you will tell you, God does not qualify, God does not take the qualified, He qualifies the taking. How did they talk that motivational nonsense, whether they use Lambauna? Let me break it down to you. Moses was not unqualified. Moses was the most qualified person in Israel. Go and do your research. He's the only one that went to school with Pharaoh. So when God saw Aaron, and God saw Miriam, and God saw every other Jew, He did not choose them because He could not qualify them. He chose the one that He qualified from birth. Moses went to school, the same schools with the Egyptians. He had the knowledge and wisdom of the Egyptians. So if God Himself is not choosing based on religious choices, why are you? Why are you allowing yourself to be fooled by religion? Why? This is the first time we have a pastor ordained by one of the biggest GOs in Nigeria in office. How much work has he done? The next thing you come out now and say his hands are tied. His hands are tied, he can't resign. He can't resign with his hands. He should shout one day, I resign, I resign, I resign. And we will accept it. So that's as far as I can go on this particular topic. Always learn to pick the qualified candidate. You want to go to listen to a preaching, go and listen to a pastor. You want to go and have a prayer session, go and pray with a pastor. You want to choose a leader, don't choose a pastor unless the pastor is the most qualified among the choices. Choose a Muslim. Choose a native doctor, an atheist, an agnostic. Choose a pagan that is qualified instead of a pastor that is unqualified. You are complaining about Nigeria. Look at your leaders abroad, in the UK, in the US, in Canada, in the Netherlands, in France. Do you think they were chosen because they were religious? Do you think anybody cares about their religious beliefs? Choose competence. Stop choosing tribe. Stop choosing language. Stop choosing religion. Choose competence. It is what God did. If you truly are the Son of God, you will work like God. You will choose like God chose. Someone said, choose a Ghanaian at this rate. What is Ghanaian? Choose Chinese that will work. Your brother from your hometown, how much work has he done? Before you know it, I come and say, they tied my hands. If they tied your hands, did they tie your leg? Can't you walk away? Choose a man from Cotonou, choose a man from Liberia, choose a man from Canada, anywhere that will work. It's even better we kuku hire somebody that can work from abroad. My message for you, why am I giving you this message? Election is coming in 2023. Let's hope there's going to be election. With the way things are going, we can only hope. When that election comes, if you like, move yourself and go and vote for pastor. Let me tell you, and this is what I want all of you to do. When you go to your churches and your pastor comes and brings a candidate, get up all of you and tell him to throw his candidate away that you want to listen to preaching. It's bad enough that you are wasting the resources of the church to build humongous and useless buildings. You now want to be using it to propagate politics? And remind him that when it came to competence, God chose Pharaoh over Jacob. In as much as you hate to admit it, it's there in your Bible. Where was Jacob when Pharaoh was dreaming his dream? Where was Jacob? Please help me answer, because I don't know book. Where was Jacob? Why didn't God give the dream to Jacob? Because Jacob lost the dreamer, 1. Because Jacob did not have the structure, 2. Because Jacob did not have the wherewithal, 3. And Pharaoh had all of these. And God did not want this same Jacob to starve. And he knew that if he gave him the ability, he would manage it only within himself and he would still starve. So he gave someone who was more competent. God chooses competence. The only time an incompetent king was chosen was to spite people, and that was Saul. David was competent. Solomon was competent. Moses was competent. God is not going to choose an incompetent guy because he can pray for 1 hour every day, or because he can do that nonsense robo skibby baba that people will do and fool yourselves. That's not how God's going to choose. God himself likes competence. Are you competent? Start grooming your youth. It's not about fighting and causing trouble up and down. How involved are you in the politics? We need competent people involved. We don't need people praying. There's one guy I used to follow every day. He does prayer on his post. Immediately I said, this guy cannot be a good politician. Now prayer meeting will go there, go do. And while he's doing the prayer meeting, he'll be stealing. At the same time, I know their type. Please. Just say you learned something from Daddy Freeze on this day. Stop voting for religion. Stop voting for tribe. Start voting for competence. Make competence your watchword. I'm repeating myself, sounding like a broken record, because I know you people don't like to listen. Make competence your watchword. Vote for who can and who will, not who can pray. Vote for who can work. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. God bless you all.